Heartland returns with its highly anticipated Season 20, bringing a storyline that is both emotionally devastating and incredibly compelling. One of the most shocking developments in the series revolves around Amy Fleming, who, years after the tragic death of Ty Borden, discovers something that completely turns her world upside down: a mysterious letter written in Ty's own handwriting. The moment Amy finds the letter is nothing short of powerful. Set in the quiet, familiar surroundings of the Heartland Ranch, what begins as an ordinary day quickly transforms into a life-altering experience. At first, the idea seems impossible. Ty is gone, or at least, that's what everyone has believed for years. But as Amy begins to read, subtle details within the letter start to stand out. These are not just random memories. They are deeply personal, intimate details that only Ty could have known. Slowly, something awakens inside Amy, a fragile but undeniable hope she thought she had buried forever. For Amy, this discovery is not just about hope, it's also about fear. She has spent years learning to live with her loss, rebuilding her life piece by piece, and finding a way to move forward. Now, the possibility that Ty might still be alive threatens to unravel everything she has worked so hard to heal. The content of the letter itself is even more shocking. Ty reveals that after the accident, he did not die, but instead lost his memory. For a long time, he didn't even know who he was. This revelation answers one of the biggest questions fans have had for years. If Ty was alive, why didn't he come back? The answer is heartbreaking. He wasn't able to, because he didn't remember anything about his past, including Amy. This adds a new layer of tragedy to Ty's story. Surviving but losing your identity is a fate almost as painful as death itself. Ty describes how he slowly began to recover fragments of his memory. Faces, places, emotions, they all started coming back, piece by piece. But this is where the story takes an even more emotional turn. Ty admits that once he realized who he was, he faced an impossible decision. Should he return to Amy or stay away? The reason he chose to stay hidden is perhaps the most heartbreaking part of all. He was afraid. Not for himself, but for Amy. He feared that she had moved on, that she had built a new life, and that his sudden return would only bring her pain and chaos. This confession reveals a deeply human side of Ty. His decision wasn't about abandoning Amy, it was about protecting her. It was an act of love, even if it meant sacrificing his own happiness. This internal conflict adds incredible emotional depth to his character and transforms the story into something much more than a simple reunion plot. It becomes a story about love, sacrifice, and the fear of disrupting someone else's healing. For Amy, accepting this truth is incredibly difficult. She is torn between two realities. On one hand, she has grieved Ty, accepted his loss, and tried to move forward. On the other hand, the man she loved may still be alive, somewhere out there. As the weight of this possibility settles in, Amy can no longer ignore her feelings. The hope she once buried begins to resurface, stronger than ever. At this point, Lou Fleming becomes a crucial part of the story. Amy turns to her sister, the one person she trusts above all else. When Amy calls Lou and tells her that Ty might be alive, it creates one of the most emotional moments of the season. Lou's initial reaction is disbelief. How could something like this be possible? But as Amy explains the details, the handwriting, and the contents of the letter, Lou begins to realize that this might actually be real. The bond between the two sisters shines through in this moment. Lou doesn't dismiss Amy's feelings. Instead, she listens, supports, and ultimately stands by her. Together, they make a life-changing decision. They will find Ty. They will track him down and bring him back home. This decision marks the beginning of a new journey, not just physically, but emotionally. For Amy, this is not just about finding Ty. It's about confronting her past, facing her fears, and deciding what she truly wants for her future. The road ahead is uncertain. There's no guarantee of a happy ending. The man they find may not be the same Ty she once knew. He may be changed, broken, or even unwilling to return. And yet, Amy chooses to go anyway. Because sometimes, not knowing is harder than facing the truth. What do you guys think about this subject? I welcome your thoughts in the comments. For more such videos, you can subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and like our video. See you again. Goodbye.